Did you know that there is a biblical law that implies either God doesn't understand women's bodies, or he unjustly punishes innocent women based on biology they did not choose? Welcome back to Pesky Passages, where we problematize the Bible in pursuit of de-weaponizing certainty and increasing love. In Deuteronomy 22, nestled in the middle of the marriage and sexual conduct section, we find a very interesting law that boils down to this. When a man accuses his new bride of not being a virgin, her parents are asked to bring the evidence of virginity to the elders. If the accusation is false, the husband is punished. But if no evidence is found, the woman is taken to her father's doorstep and stoned to death. And the case hinges on one thing: whether or not there is blood on a cloth. You see, this law assumes something very specific: that a virgin will bleed the first time she has sex. That's why the cloth matters so much. Blood equals innocence. No blood equals guilt. But modern medicine tells us that not all women bleed the first time. Hymens vary. Some stretch. Some tear earlier. Some don't bleed at all. Which means this biblical text doesn't reliably track reality. And this wasn't just discovered in modern times. Later Jewish interpreters were uneasy with this too. In the Mishnah and the Talmud, especially in Tractate Ketubot, rabbis debate what even counts as evidence of virginity, and they add legal safeguards to make this law harder to apply. Because already at that time, the risk of injustice was already obvious. And when you zoom out and compare this with other ancient laws in the same area, the pattern becomes clear. A woman's virginity wasn't mainly about her body. It was about male lineage, property rights, and honor. So the real question wasn't, let's get down to the heart of the accusation. It was, did the husband get what the father promised? And her body simply becomes unreliable evidence in a system that's already designed to doubt her. So here's the problem we can't dodge. If some women don't naturally bleed their first time having intercourse, and modern gynecological research shows that roughly 40 to 50% don't, then this law can kill innocent women simply for the DNA they were born with. Which means we're forced into attention. Either this law reflects ancient misunderstanding of female biology and calls God's omniscience into question, or it enforces a system that punishes the truthful along with the guilty and calls God's goodness and divine justice into question. Because when life and death hinge on a mistaken view of the body, it's not the anatomy that's on trial, it's the justice behind the law. And this is where some readers can choose to take a different posture. They're honest with the text and simply read the law as part of an ancient system shaped by its cultures, its fears, and its limited understanding of women's bodies. But they don't pretend that it makes it good. One might say that this is a place where scripture shows us what people used to believe, and also what now needs to change. That kind of reading doesn't require defending the rule. It does, however, require the courage to call harm what it is. Because when the goal becomes defending God or defending the Bible at all costs, real people end up paying the price. And this passage hasn't just stayed on the page. It has shaped how female sexuality gets policed, how virginity gets moralized, and how women are taught to carry shame for things their bodies never promised. And I challenge you, speak to a Christian woman in your life and see if they can relate. Taking the Bible seriously isn't about feeling a duty to defend God and every verse about God, but instead learning which readings lead to life and which ones who keep hurting people over and over and over. Now, if you're the type of person that is willing to hold scripture with open hands instead of clenched fists, or are in the process of learning to loosen that grip, you're in the right place. Come along. You're welcome here.